crazy today. I quickly finished one of my books and traded it in to this awesome bookstore that they have. I don't even think this is their bag. I think they kind of just recycle bags that they use. It's called it's like a used bookstore. The secondhand bookstore here. And there is two. There's one that's called Aisles and Aisles of Books. I've yet to go to that one, but I kind of want to tame myself a little bit. I don't want to, because here's the thing about me in bookstores. I tell myself I'm gonna only go in there just to see if I can find a book that's on my list, but I ended up coming out with a lot more. I did, however, come out with a book on my list, but unfortunately it's the second book of a book series, or like a duo book, and they did not have the first one, so I need, before I start this one, I need the It Ends With Us, and I really want to read it before August, because that's when the movie with Blake Lively comes out, and you know, and it is my own fault because that has been on my TBR for quite a while since I saw Zoe Sugg advertise it on her channel. And then in their Irish section, they have a huge Irish section because this is like such a huge Irish Catholic town. I found this one. I thought it was really interesting. It's a historical story about this little boy, Frank McCourt, and just basically his life in Ireland and how he struggled through. I thought that was a good one. That one's definitely keep. I feel like these both are going to be keep books. You know, those books where you're like, I'm going to read it, but could only read it once and then you pass it along. Those are going to be definitely keep books. This one was not on my TBR, but it was someone that I saw on YouTube a lot. And this is the first book of a very long series that I wasn't too sure about, and I didn't really feel like I wanted to get, see look, in a very long series. I didn't feel like I wanted to get into another series. Look, the print's not that bad and it's not that small. And look at the chapter size. And honestly, I don't even know if I know what this book's about. And I wanted to get the other book series that's like The Crown, the Red Queen book series. And I have the first one in that. And there are 3 books in that. So I have those on my TBR list. But I guess this is just another one, like not a spin-off, but like basically a one that's kind of like that. Let's see. Jude was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in a treacherous high court of Faerie. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there, but many of the Fae despise human. Okay, so this is not really a in this world, it's like a fantasy one, and it's a phase. Okay, that would be interesting. Fantasy novel, and here's what the back looks like, here's what the front looks like. Do I know if I'm going to keep this book and I want the whole series, or am I going to read this one and be done with it and not bother with number 2, or read this one, give this one back, and then get number 2 and get rid of number 2 and so forth and so on like that. Who knows? And then the last, but certainly not least, in action, this is my receipt was in this one too. One thing about these really old bookstores, not old bookstores, but in these really old towns, is those like really old-fashioned leather-bound books that they have so much of, and like you kind of want them, but like when are you ever going to read them, and when, or anything. And then but makes you want them. And then this one was published 1981, so you know that this is an old book and not like a repeat. And I believe yeah, and you can tell by the yellow pages and what, and look at that drawing, really cute. And then this one is the Celtic Twilight, W.B. Yeats. I'm sure I did not pronounce that right. And this one is the Celtic Twilight, first published in 1893. So of course I did not get the 1893 version but that would have been cool. But I feel like I got far back enough. What was it? The 1980. So basically 100 years later. And then this book is older than I am. I just realized that. This book was published in 81 and I was born in 88. So this book is actually older than me. Which I like getting older versions of certain books, so that way it's kind of tries to stay with the original as much as I can. First publishers in 1893 can be said to have given its name to the epoch of Ireland's history and saw the beginnings of the Irish revival, the start of the Irish National Theatre. Cool. So I am obviously really into Irish history. Gotta respect my ancestry, right? And I know a lot. I know a lot of different Irish histories, but it's cool to get a book like this rather than a textbook or just watching a YouTube channel. Oh, they got illustrations in here that doesn't really seem all that appropriate, but here's another one that seems a little bit more appropriate. So that's cool. I wonder if those were the original illustrations from back in the day. I don't know. He's playing cards, so I don't know, but cards are quite old game. But here's that. And then also they had they had two different Irish sections, and one was from the Druid. Oh look, they gave me a cute little bookmark, and I needed a bookmark. Look at that. And then look on the back, it has a map where you could get it. That store, which isn't the best maps ever. I definitely will leave them in this description, but it's second edition books. And they have an Uptown Butte, 11-2 South Montana. Okay. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Cool. And then this is my receipt. And honestly, they didn't really have their own prices on them. It was just pretty much the prices that they already came with. Like this one was USD $14. So I was prepared to spend mainstream money on these 4 books. But when I got up to the counter and she rang it all up, it was less than $20. And then that was also with my $3 coupon for bringing in a used book, which I feel like they're really cool that they do that. And then that is my book journey today. Bye bye.